Welcome to Career Fair Prep. Excited to see everyone here. Again, just going to put your name, your class year, your major, and your favorite snow day activity in the chat. I'll get started. My name is Desmond Jatan. I'm a career coach here at Illinois Tech, and the head honcho joining us today is Passive.
What's that? You passed the baton? Is that what that was?
Yeah, just passed it.
Hi, everybody. I'm BJ Engelhardt. I'm Senior Director of Career Services. Thanks for joining us today, and hopefully this is really helpful for you as you prepare for our second virtual career fair. Hopefully our last fully virtual career fair, at least for the big all-campus ones. Well, at least hopefully by the fall we're back on campus and in person, and back to normal. We'll see.
Hopefully soon, for sure. So a little bit about us in our office. So our career services office are open Monday to Friday from 9 to 5. We also have a drop-in hour from 12:30 to 3:30, meaning if you have any questions, especially if it's like resume or cover letter related, you can just drop into Blackboard and someone, either a peer career coach or a career coach, will be there to answer your questions. But if you need some more time to talk about your individual career needs, you can book an appointment through Handshake. These appointments range from document cleanup, interview strategies, job search strategies, career assessments, career consultations, mock interviews, salary negotiation, career exploration, like what I want to do, what should I be good at for my career. But our favorite one, of course, is job offer reviews. As you all know, we have our spring career fair, virtual career fair, coming up Thursday, February 25th. Is going to be through a platform that we also used last semester called the Intern X. It's a really fantastic platform that BJ is going to talk more about how to get your profile up and going and be ready for the career fair coming up the 25th, which is in a couple of weeks. So we're glad that you're here today so that you are putting your best foot forward for your career success. So we're going to talk about, this presentation today is going to be a lot about the before the career fair, during the career fair, and after the career fair. So now let's start with before the career fair. So before the career fair, you really want to research what type of companies you want to talk to ahead of time, and really think about the ones that you want to interact with. There are usually three things that you want to talk about, or there's usually three things that you want to use to filter what type of companies or organizations that might be a good fit for you. For example, let's say that you are vegan and you want to value every animal, and like it might not be the best place for you to work at, like a butcher shop or the like, right? Same thing with job openings and qualifications. If you're a software developer, it makes sense to go to places that have a software developer jobs. And of course, also recent projects. This goes a lot for the engineering majors on the call. So let's say if you have a specialty engineering like civil or architectural or mechanical, a lot of those certain projects will help align to see what kind of companies will be in attendance, and then you'll be able to find what companies might best align to what you liked doing in class as well. So remember your non-negotiables. Some things might be wiggle room, right? So let's say that you want to work at a huge company. If that's a non-negotiable, like you only want to work at a big company, it makes sense that you want to focus on that registered list that BJ put in the chat. Only focus on companies that are, of course, bigger. You want to be in a distraction-free space with good internet connectivity. Again, it's virtual, so of course your internet connection is going to be your lifeline. You make sure all you're prepared. You also want to prepare your interview materials. That includes your resume, your cover letter, your LinkedIn profile is robust, your Handshake profile is robust, your Intern X profile is robust, your GitHub, make sure if you're looking for coding jobs or data science jobs that it's robust and you have some commits in there, etc. And then you also want to think about your follow-up strategy. How are you going to reach out to the people that you met after the career fair? Will it be via LinkedIn? Are you going to make sure that you get their email? Are you going to make sure you maybe get their phone number? All those things to think about before you start the career fair. Now, let's talk about what happens at the career fair. So when you look at these fancy smancy flyers that our great marketing team Naya did, of course you're here today, so we get you all ready to go for the spring 2021 career fair. At the 2021 career fair, it's going to be about 10-minute conversations with recruiters, and recruiters are usually going to ask questions to you or ask you if you have any questions. So this goes back to finding companies that usually align with their missions and values, or make sure that they are companies that fulfill your non-negotiables, right? So you want to be able to have at least 2 or 3 questions prepared for those companies or for those recruiters that you're meeting with. At the end of the session, then recruiters, based on usually those 10 minutes or the likely your profile, recruiters might reach out to you at a later date to set up a more in-depth conversation or interview. So join us next week. Next week on Monday, we have a resume palooza. We'll be able to review your resume, but also next week will be our career fair prep, raising the bar events. We'll be meeting with different recruiters, hiring managers, as well as alumni panelists to talk about their career journey and how to get ready for the career fair. So recruiter frequently asked questions. The one that's going to be usually the one that's going to be asked 90% of the time is an elevator pitch. Usually the elevator pitch is going to be usually housed in tell me about myself. These are 5 tips or 5 bullet points that are going to help you a lot in your elevator pitch. You want to think about the present, what you're doing now, the past, what have you achieved in the past, and the future. Where do you want your career, or where do you want your life trajectory to go? You also want to think about what makes you stand out from your peers. Is it skills? Do you know a programming language, or do you know, or have you taken a class that might have been offered outside of Illinois Tech? Is it your work experience? Have you worked in the field before? Is it cultural understanding? The fact that a lot of people on this call might be international students. That is fantastic. Excuse the police cruiser outside. If you're an international student, that is fantastic. You have a global perspective, which is great because we live in a globalized world, etc. You also want to think about why you're interested in this company. If you're going to be working for Toys R Us, rest in peace, it means what? You must love toys. You must love, being able to have that childlike play. You must love Jeffrey. So those things would make you interested in working at Toys R Us. Also, you want to think about what makes this work environment the best place for you to thrive, and how does this align with the organization that you're applying for, right? So if the company that you want, think about Toys R Us, is open to an open office concept or the like, but you thrive in a cubicle setting, right? It might not be, you might want to really think about what type of place you want to work at. And the last one, at least, do you have any connections with the company that you mentioned, right? So if you got this job, or if you got this opportunity or interview or conversation because of Illinois Tech alumni, that's a fantastic place to put that connection, that person's name, so they also get credit for being a referral. So here are 6 questions that usually recruiters may ask you. They may ask you to tell me about yourself. They may ask you, what do you know about our company? This is a good point to talk about, again, doing your research for each company that you're really interested in meeting with. This is your place to really shine. Also, they might ask, why do you want to work for us? Or why did you choose this field? The wrong answer to this question is because you would pay me a lot of money. Or another wrong answer would be because I just saw you on the career fair, right? There's going to be lots of opportunities at the career fair. You really find this is the time for you to be very picky. It's actually better to be picky and specialize at this place now, because you'll be really going to places that you really, really want to go to if and when you get a job. They might also ask you, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Now, again, for your weaknesses, you want to think about, be honest, think about something that you're not good at. As BJ knows, I am not good at time management or I'm not good at managerial skills. So you have to think about what is your weakness, but then you also want to talk about what are you doing to hopefully compensate that. So are you going to different trainings to help you be a better manager, or are you using Google Calendar more for time management? All those things they really want to know for recruiters. The last thing is, how will our company help you with your future career goals? This aligns to your elevator pitch of what we want to talk about in the future. If they're a really high-tech, research-oriented robotics company, and you want to be a PhD teaching machine learning or computer vision theory, that might be the perfect place for you to go. And that intersection is also going to help a lot in your elevator pitch. You might lastly then ask you, what is your experience with insert software, insert skill here? So then I ask, are you familiar with Revit? Are you familiar with, for design students on the call, are you familiar with design thinking? All those things. You want to also think about what are the latest and greatest trends, or what have you seen that has been a stalwart in your industry thus far? So you can have an intelligent conversation about that software or skill set. Now, recruiters, of course, might have time to ask you, do you have any questions for us? So you want to have about 3 to 5 questions prepared for each company. The questions you want to stay away from, though, is salary questions, unless they're bringing it up first. So just so the recruiters can make sure that they're not wasting your time, they might ask, what is your salary expectations for this role? And that's a great segue for you to give them a range of salary. I've seen other people also just give a floor, a salary as well. Again, you want to ask questions that you really want to know the answer to. But you want to ask questions that you just can't find from a simple search. So if you want to know, how were they able to do this really elaborate project last year that you saw on that company website, but they don't give details about that project, this would be the perfect time for you to ask the recruiter. Even if they don't know, they will hopefully connect you with someone who does. So not only will you be able to get another connection at that company, but it will also be a connection that's more aligned with your career goals as well. You want to ask questions that communicate your values, right? So if you are a family person and you really value work-life balance, that might be a good question to ask. Like, how do you, is there a healthy mix of vacation time, or how do you all deal with stress on the job? A good mix is to ask a good combination of personal and technical questions. For technology, like, what software do you use most often? Is this an agile shop? Is this a waterfall shop? The personal questions would be, what does it need to be successful in your company? Or what's the path they like for promotion or improvement in the company? Now, lastly, after the career fair, what should you do? After the career fair, you of course want to ask about next steps, and remember to check back in. So right after the career fair, you want to get, of course, the recruiter's information. You might want to shoot their email or connect with them on LinkedIn. You want to remind them on, hey, we met at the career fair last week. I had a really great time. I just wanted to follow up about next steps about the position. Also take some time to reflect on your experience. What are some things that you think you did well in, or what are some things that you wish you could have improved on? Were there companies that aligned with your skill set there, or is there some software that you saw that a lot of companies asked about but you didn't have a lot of experience with? Those are a good example, or that's a good time for you to really think about, reflect, and up your skill set for the next career fair. Also, give us feedback. Here at the Career Services team, we're also trying to get better and thrive, and of course our job is to help us help you, because we know that Illinois Tech students are great. We know that you all are very brilliant, so we want to make sure that we give you all the best opportunities possible to show that brilliance and that fortitude. You're also going to sign up for a mock interview with us. We have 60-minute, even and 30-minute interview strategy time blocks and Handshake. So all you have to do is just go to your Handshake account and then book that time with a career coach. And lastly is follow up. Recruiters are going to see, hundreds of students during the career fair, but not everyone's going to follow up. So you want to keep that in mind when you shoot an email maybe 4 or 5 days after the career fair. Say, hey, I met with you last week. I just wanted to follow up and say I really enjoyed getting to know X company more. I just want to follow up with next steps. Additional tips to help you stand out is, of course, you want to be creative. You want to be yourself. So you don't want to fake it, right? Just just be genuine. You want to focus on genuine connection, not just what can this person do for me. You want to see if this is a right fit. You want to show your knowledge of the company. People love when other people are prepared. So show what you know. I know that you all revenue last year was 1.2 million. You all took a major hit in quarter 3 and quarter 4 based on the pandemic. But I saw last week at your board press releases online that you're all really focusing on this new digital product. That would really impress a recruiter, right? And of course, showcase what makes you different. So you have to think that there's hundreds of people or dozens of people who are the same major as you. They're the same class year as you. They've done the same projects as you. What makes you different? Have you gone above and beyond? Did you do an outside course? Did you build your own independent project? Did you start a startup with the Kaplan Institute or something like that? All those things are going to help you to differentiate yourself from the rest of your Illinois Tech peers. Awesome. And that is our quick and fast how to prepare for the career fair. Any questions? Feel free to use the hand icon in Blackboard, or if you have any questions, you can please put them inside the chat. So question for you all, how will I find out what companies are registered for the career fair then? Any handshake? Absolutely. Thanks, Jeremy. Gold star, Jeremy. Handshake. You can trust the person that loves to build igloo's. Great. Another question for you all. What is something I can do to prepare good questions for the recruiter I'm going to meet? Research the company, absolutely. Thomas, Matt, perfect research company. Research on the company creates fantastic. Mohammed Agum, thank you so much. That's such a cool name. Browse company website, absolutely. Thank you, Willie. And then last but not least, which is going to be a good transition. CS. Nikhil, while going through the company, I noticed that there was not much for CS. Any reason? I'm assuming that's for computer science, right, Nikhil? Majority for architecture and civil. Yeah.
So that's the opposite, Nikhil, is what we had in the fall, which is kind of interesting. So we cast a very wide net. We invite over 38,000 companies that we're connected to in Handshake, it's interesting because we never know quite what the mix is going to be, and usually when we get a little closer to the fair, we kind of check who's registered, and we do some individual outreach to the companies that are in the industries that don't seem to have signed up at the same rates. And usually for our in-person, it's usually very heavily computer science, IT related. So it's something we're looking into, of course, to understand it. But it's certainly nothing that we purposely did by any means. It's just it's somewhat how those 38,000 companies decided that they're hiring right at this moment, and the 56 that have signed up so far seem to be ready to roll and make hires right now.
Thank you, BJ, for that information. I think Sanhuja asked the question, best sources to get information, the real details about the company, e.g. their performance during COVID, acquisitions, fundraising, etc. Great question. So based on the size of the company, if they're more private or startup-y, you can go to crunchbase.com. That's a really good one to talk about, like funding rounds and the like. You also could go to built in, or like built in Chicago or the like. That helps a lot just in terms of just new articles that the company might be doing as well. If they're a public company, if they're a public company, meaning like they're like traded on the New York Stock Exchange, usually that's public information. So if you go to if you go usually I get the SEC or the like, you just search for investor notes, and then you get all that details. You get all those details from there as well. All right, so Matt has a question. You mentioned for us to use LinkedIn. If we were using the Handshake account, would you recommend making LinkedIn as well, so we will have both of them? Matt, great question. Absolutely. So we're seeing that Handshake is positioning itself to be a great, or the platform, to go-to platform for early career talent. So people who might have just graduated from college or early in their career. And obviously, as you know, LinkedIn is, I guess, trying to be that powerhouse professional networking place. We recommend that you have a robust profile for both of them, just a cast a wide net, and just to be as polished as you are in both of them as you would for a Handshake. Thanks, Matt.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Ready to dig into InternX?
Yes.
All right, we're going to dig into InternX now. I'm going to share my screen. This is going to exit. Okay.
Oh, I think, Oglom, is it your hand? I think your question is, if a company asks if you require support to work in their company, especially for international students, what would be a good answer? I'm assuming the question you're asking is like, will you now or in the future require H-1B support or a sponsorship, correct? Yes, exactly. Good question. My honesty is usually the best policy, so I would just say, yes, I'm an international student, and I would require sponsorship in the future.
All right, I'm going to get rolling here with the InternX training. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. This is the home base for you to get into InternX. I've also added the URL so you can find your way here as well. You'll see a student login and a recruiter login. Obviously, you're going to use the student login. If you haven't created an account yet, there is the option to sign up for InternX below. Please sign up with your IIT email address so it automatically gets aligned with Illinois Institute of Technology. Otherwise, we got to go through this whole process and everything, and just much easier if you do your hawk.iut.edu to make sure you get to the right areas where you want to be. Once you've set everything up, you're going to come in here. This is going to be your home page as a student once you've logged in. You do have the account up here in the corner where you can manage a lot of your stuff as far as your personal information, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. If you want to share a biography about yourself, these are certainly things that can't hurt. These are things that are going to be reviewable by the recruiters. So this can be like your about section in LinkedIn, where you give a little bit of a overview of who you are. You can choose an avatar, which is basically your picture, which can be either you or an actual avatar. The resume, which obviously you want to get that up as well. Company preferences in terms of where you want to be working, industries, company sizes, specific roles, anything that you're really proficient in, it's always good to put it in here as well. All this profile will be accessible to recruiters, and the recruiters are going to be looking for you. At least some of them are going to be looking for you through the system to do some early inviting to the actual event on February 25th. Now, not all the employers attending are going to do advanced recruitment. So don't be concerned if you don't get selected for an interview by the company you really want to talk to at the fair, you should definitely still plan to sign up with them. Just because some companies are just going to wait until the week of and just kind of go with the flow on the day of the fair, and some of them are going to do a little bit of advanced recruiting. So you just don't know who's reaching out to who. So don't worry about it. Find those companies you want to that have the positions you're interested in, and sign up for one of their appointment slots. Just also note this other left-hand bar here, which has other information you may want to consider putting in your profile. So going back to my homepage here. So the first thing I'm going to encourage you to do after you've got everything set up is to go to the Career Fairs tab. And here is where you're going to see the upcoming events that Career Services is hosting through InternX. So the second one you'll see is the Spring 2021 All Campus Virtual Career Fair. I have registered for this event, so that's why it's grayed out. But once you see that, you will register for the event, okay? Starting next Thursday, the 18th, that is when you're going to be able to sign up for companies. So right now, you can't necessarily do anything. However, shameless plug, we are having a virtual review session called Resume Palooza next week on Monday from 10 to 5. A lot of the Career Services staff are setting up slots just like the career fair, where we're going to do quick 10 to 15 minute resume reviews. Definitely encourage everybody to take advantage of it, to register for that, and to start getting comfortable with the system, because it's really going to be a great opportunity to, just make sure the video and audio are working for you, that you know how to sign up for, appointments, that sort of thing. So I'm going to register for Resume Palooza just so we can kind of walk through what this is going to look like. I'm going to click on Resume Palooza now. Okay, so what's going to happen now is I am going to see, so right now I have no meetings for Resume Palooza. I have no saved companies, but I have the option within Resume Palooza to look at the companies and any job postings that are available from the companies attending. Okay, since there's only one company attending, I'm going to click on Illinois Institute of Technology Career Services. Multiple jobs, but we do have scheduling available. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I can, find one of our team members who is ready to meet with you for a resume review. Okay, so I'm going to select this top recruiter here. And as you can see, the name of the recruiter is going to show up. So this is Desmond's interview slots. I can see that he is available from basically 12:30 to 3 on the 15th to do resume reviews. So I'm going to find a spot to sign up with Desmond. I'm going to pick his first slot. I'm going to confirm that. Okay. And so now I have a resume review appointment set up with Desmond on Monday. Okay, and so you can see I come back here, I can see that. Now, if I want to go back to the home page, I can either click on the green InternX in the corner or the back button, which can't see that now. But now, when I click on meetings, after I've set this up with Desmond, I'm going to see all of my meetings that I'm going to be having. So if you think about it for the career fair, I'm going to have all these different companies that I'll be able to sign up for. And I'm going to know on this page who I'm signed up to talk with and at what time. So right now this box is X'd out, so I can't actually get in and talk to Desmond. It's not going to be clickable until the exact start time of the meeting, okay? So I'm going to go in probably at 12:28 on that day. I'm going to wait for this to go green, and then I'm going to click join this meeting. And that'll take me into a video conferencing system that is very similar to Zoom, to Google Meets, to Blackboard here. It's going to provide all those same things as well. Okay, any questions about what I just covered as far as getting signed up for meetings on the day of the fair? So I want to show a couple other things here. On this homepage, you can also find available jobs that are through companies that are posting opportunities in InternX. So there's not a lot in here at this point, but there could be some in the future. TIBCO, for instance, they're going to be at the fair. And I can always click on a job posting. And one of the great things about this, I can save the job so I kind of remember about it later on. But even before I as a student can sign up for a meeting with a company on the 18th, I can click on that job, realize it's a really great fit for me, and I can send this employer a message. Okay, so I can say, hi there, I am really interested in this associate MTS job. Seems to really be a great fit for me. I meet all of the criteria. I hope to be able to talk to you at the career fair. And so if TIBCO is doing early recruiting, they'll take a look at your profile and potentially invite you to meet with them. Okay, so keep an eye on this as these fill up with companies putting positions in here to definitely check out those opportunities. Okay. One other thing I want to show, just as another way of kind of going through this whole process. I'm going to actually sign in here. So all the companies for the career fair that have registered so far are going to be now listed under the Spring 2021 All Campus Career Fair. So you can always come in here and take a look at the companies. So I'm going to go back to TIBCO here for a second. So actually, they don't have that job available through there. But what you're going to start to see is those jobs that were shown there back on that last page by clicking on the company, and then you'll see available jobs. There will be companies that start putting stuff in over the next few days. And like I showed you before, you'll get the available jobs, you'll see the job title, you can click on that and it'll take you back to that page where you can review the position and also send a message. So there's just a couple different ways you can actually get to that messaging option. So the important thing right now is get signed up, go to career fairs, get signed up for the spring fair, make sure you're registered. That makes sure that employers can find you and they can invite you to interview with them if they're using that feature. Join us for Resume Palooza on Monday and get signed up for a meeting with one of our staff members and use that opportunity to get comfortable with InternX. And then when next Thursday rolls around, you can come in here, you can go to the companies, you can find those companies you want to talk to, and you'll be able to click on scheduling and you'll be able to schedule your meeting with them. So right now, when I click this, it's going to say the fair is closed. So it's that won't be available until next Thursday, the 18th. And that's about it. That about covers everything. What questions does anybody have, or was that a perfect tutorial for InternX?
Confirmed. It was a perfect tutorial. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Any other questions, you all? Matt. Go for it.
Okay, I just didn't want to write it in chat. So I'm looking. So I just made my handshake like almost a month ago. So I just like finalized everything, and I'm looking to do the LinkedIn like you said. Is there a way through IIT's like website that I can do that through, or should I go through the actual LinkedIn website itself and sign up like with the school email and everything like that?
Right. So you're just saying like where to set up the to LinkedIn.
Yeah, because like with Handshake, it was you sign up through the school and then it brought you there.
Yeah. We don't have any sort of specific like sign-in partnership relationship with LinkedIn. So you'll just go in with LinkedIn. If you want to use a personal email address, that's perfectly fine. Just depends on what you want to do. But there's no real linkage there.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between registered companies on Handshake via the link you shared with us and on Internext? So they're gonna mirror each other unless a company backs out of the fair, and we haven't gotten around to taking them out of Internext. But Internext is the platform for the event. Handshake is the platform for the registration. So they're going to be different. There's going to be a little bit more information most likely on Handshake in terms of the company descriptions and stuff, just because these companies are using Handshake for a lot of different reasons, and they already have active employer profile pages and everything like that. So you're going to definitely find more information on a company in Handshake. But then once you feel great about, hey, I really want to talk to this company from what I read on Handshake, then come into Internext and sign up for their appointment block stack.
Awesome. Any other questions? Well, if that's it, it is a sunny day outside of Chicago, and I won't hold you all. So, this video or recording will be on YouTube later this afternoon or by the weekend. And again, we'll see you Monday on Resume Palooza. And again, don't forget to use the Intern X to schedule an appointment to get your cover letter or your resume checked out so that you can succeed on the career fair on the 25th. So it's good seeing everyone. Enjoy this beautiful day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Joel.